All right, buddy. I feel like I'm like trying to keep up with you. I mean, like Sam when he calls, and I love him. Honest to God, I absolutely love him. You
Thank
know,
you.
you're welcome. With this new season, I have to say the whole dynamic of Sam. I mean, if you didn't love him before or you loved him with this new one, you feel like you just love him even more. Like, how's it been for you? Well, first, couple of people asked me before I jumped on with you with this, and I just want to make sure everybody that doesn't know. You were basically a new recast for this role.
Yeah, after season one, I think they went on a bit of a hiatus just because of COVID happened at that time. I think it originally aired in like 2019 or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
And then it wasn't until what would it have been? 2024, I think. It came back, but at that time, that's 5 years later. So, some casts weren't available, some had moved on to other shows, and that's just kind of the way the industry is. So I stepped into Sam's shoes for Marshall, who I actually know, and he's an amazing dude. He's so solid. And yeah, I've just been I've been rocking with it ever since.
Yeah, because I remember him, Sam, the original. And then when I saw you stepped into the role, that's the part that we don't get. Stuff like that happens. Crap happens.
It It does, like all the time, just because of like, it could be anything. It could be COVID, it could be scheduling issues with other projects. It's just kind of it's an industry thing that I people might not realize is more common than you think.
Yeah. And I think I don't want to say bad enough, but I think it's even bigger shoes when you say like you audition for a role and you get the part that you want, but now you're jumping into somebody else's shoes, somebody else that the fans of the show were so used to, and then here you come, the newbie. I mean, you have. I mean, and I wouldn't say this to you otherwise. I mean, you really have developed Sam, very well, but it was a big undertaking.
It is. There's always a bit of nerve. It's not the first time I've done this either, but yeah, there's always an inherent amount of stress that comes with stepping into a role that's, already beloved and somebody else has already done such a good job with because there's so many people like Marshall has so many fans. And he's such a good guy. And so, you step into a role like that and it's gonna go one of two ways. People are either gonna love you or they're gonna absolutely hate you. Um, so yeah, you just kind of, I mean, for me, it's just, you just got to focus on the work. You got to focus on bringing yourself as authentically as possible to the character, and bring what I bring to the role, which is going to be different than Marshall, which would have been different than somebody else who might have ended up stepping into the role. You just have to bring yourself as authentically as possible, and work hard and just try to do the character justice. That's all you can really do as an actor.
And I feel like it's always a conversation that people, they ask me, they're like, well, what do you think? What do you think that this new person? I said, listen, it's the involvement of the industry. I said, I've done this for a long time. I've gotten to know a lot of these wonderful, talented people that have done it. And,
Hmm.
yeah, there's going to be maybe one or more than one person that maybe do a role, but it's not going to be the same as the next person because the next person has their own gift of acting and their own gift of bringing, that specific character to life. I said, so it's just something you kind of roll with.
Yeah, like and as much as you are accustomed to maybe the last actor that has portrayed any given role, like I don't think you'd want the new actor to come in and try to emulate and be exactly like the other person because it just doesn't work because then the comparison is so direct. And there's no way I could ever do what Marshall does, and I don't think there's any way that Marshall could do what I do. Like, and we go out for a lot of the same roles like all the time. Like, this is kind of like a little insider baseball, but I just finished a project with Marshall like a month ago.
No way.
Yeah, and it was the first time I had ever met him. Like I've known of him through mutual friends in the industry, but this is the first time we had ever met each other, and we worked on a project together. And no joke, we spent like on and off set, we spent like 99% of the time with each other just hanging out and like having fun. Like we became like best friends and we still text each other. Like he's such a solid dude. But yeah, like I don't think anybody would actually want me to try to be exactly like his version of Sam. Like I think it's smarter as an actor to just do your own thing. And when I went into auditioning for the role, like that's what I did. I didn't try to watch what he did. I just tried to bring myself to the role and was hoping that the producers would like it. And as it turns out, it worked out. It was the same thing with Guardians of the Galaxy, the video game that I did, stepping into Star-Lord's shoes. Like that was even more like nerve-wracking because it's like, oh great, I get to be compared directly to Chris Pratt. Sweet.
Well, people,
Yeah, I mean, like whether you like it or not, there will be comparisons, but I mean, that was the same thing. Like the team there was like, we don't want this to be the MCU versions of the characters. We want you to just bring your versions, and this is going to be its own standalone thing. And we did, and people ended up loving it. So again, like you just gotta bring your most authentic self to the role and bring your magic to the role, and it will be different, but you just have to pray that people resonate with that.
I love that you said that because that's the real vulnerability of this industry.
Hmm.
You're going for something, and yeah, you got to fill the shoes of Chris Pratt. It's like, okay, high standards, maybe. No
Yeah.
pressure. No pressure.
Oh, I told Marshall when we first met, I was like, dude, I was nervous to meet you because I was kind of a little bit like nervous. I was like, how's this gonna go? But he's like the chillest guy. The funny thing is we are actually so much alike in real life. And I think that's why we like hit it off and we spent like the majority of the time on and off set together, honestly. Like we're both pretty chill guys. We don't let a lot get to us, and we both like to joke around and have fun.
Yeah, the first
Yeah.
time. Hi, I'm the one who, took over your role.
You know what? Like we were saying this though, it's not even you don't even view it as like taking the role from somebody. Like,
Mm,
for circumstances like out of like his like if he's busy and he couldn't do it, like that's kind of out of his hands, right? Like if he's got stuff going on and it has to be recast, like it's not like their producers were like, we have to recast this guy. That wasn't the case at all.
yeah,
Like it was just circumstances happened. It's 5 years later, people are busy, and unfortunately they had to recast the role, and it landed in my lap. Like that was it. So it's like there's no, and this is what I love about the guy. Like there's no animosity. It's literally just the way the industry is sometimes, and timing. It's like anything in life. Timing is literally everything.
I mean, really. I mean, but Sam, like I said, Sam has developed to be such a fan favorite character. I mean, you come on the show, huge fan base. You get to literally live out every little boy's dream of horses and old west, this old, fashioned Western
Mhm.
town. What has been your best parts about playing Sam? Have you learned a lot about yourself with doing this for this long now?
Yeah, I mean, let me start by saying that I haven't actually been allowed to ride a horse yet, and I keep bugging them to do so because
Oh,
because I
yeah,
know I know how to ride.
be on the horse.
Speaking of Marshall and the one that we just finished, I got to ride a horse in that. It was awesome. So, when Hope calls, if you're listening, if you're watching, please put me on a horse. Um, but no, I mean, one of the things that I love about Sam, honestly, is that to me, he's kind of like the most grounded version of, I think, all of us. Like he's a guy who is just, in season two, and season one, like he's a guy who just works hard, trying to make a living, trying to do, well for himself. And he doesn't give up on that dream. And eventually it pays off and he strikes gold and then he gets the gold. And then season three in a lot of ways is, you know, now what? What's next? Like we all have goals that we have in mind, and then you hit the goals, and then you got to figure out what's next. And in Sam's case, it's like, well, now I have the goal. I got a lot of money. What do I do with that money? Like, who am I now that I've achieved the ultimate goal? What's my next ultimate goal? Where do I find myself, you know, in the
Mhm.
world now? And season three is kind of that. He kind of stumbles through trying to figure out who he is now. And I think that I hope that one of the reasons people love Sam so much is that because I really I think that's all of us. We're all
Mm,
trying to find ourselves. We find ourselves, then we're trying to reinvent ourselves. And, there's a lot of fun along the way in that journey. There's a lot of struggle in that journey, but it's kind of a never-ending cyclical journey that I think that we all experience. And so I think, again, I think that's why people resonate with the character so much is that he really is at his heart, you know, regardless of what he's doing and what fun or what trouble he gets into, he has a good heart. He means well, and he's just trying to figure it all out, which I mean, who's not trying to figure it all out in life, right? Me.
me, me, I'm,
Yeah. And that's what I mean, that's what I love about Sam. He's one of us. Like he's trying to figure it out.
and I think too what I love the most, and I've, had conversations with, you know, people that have worked in like this type of a show with the old Western and, this whole theme. I think the biggest takeaway for me is, and I don't know if this has happened for you, but working Sam, bringing Sam to life and developing this character, I love it even more because I love the synopsis, the basis, the backdrop of the show because it's like all of these people had to learn how to live in simple times, you
Yeah.
know, how to learn how to basically work with, the barest of necessities, stuff that
Mhm.
we wouldn't know what the heck to do without. So I think like I don't know if it's happened for you, but it's like to me it would be like the greatest lesson. One, to develop this character, but two, to see exactly what they have to deal with in this time.
Yeah, and to portray that, you know, in a faithful, authentic way. I mean, yeah, there's also the flip side of that, which is, if you took any of these characters and plopped them into our world today, like th it's a learning curve as well. So, I mean, yeah, there's a bunch of like wow moments, like, oh wow, this is how they used to do things, but
Yeah.
I think in its simplest form, like as different as the times were, they're also very much the same in the sense of like we don't know any other way other than what we grew up with and what we have in the time given, right? So it's not like Sam is living in that time being like, what do I do? I don't know how to use a pitchfork or like, do you know what I mean? Like he is a proxy of the time in which he lives, just as we all are. And I think like the things that really stay tried and true is like, it's like the necessities in which we all live in. We all need to put food on the table. We all need to, we all have friends. We all have family. We all are longing for love. Like I think those basic qualities, human qualities, they haven't ever changed. It's really just the world around us that changes. But like the core that makes us human, those simple internal core values that we all have and share, like family and faith and and what it means to be human. That has never changed. It just gets a little cloudier, and it's maybe seems a little bit more difficult now because we have so many freaking distractions in this world, and we have so much technology, and like, but like if you actually just push all that aside, like we're all just human, you know?
Pretty much. Talk about human. My dear sweet Lewis. We start on. I love my Lewis. You guys are starting. Well, some have started already with the filming of season two, which I am
Hmm.
so excited on. Um, for you, I mean, we in the finale episode, we see Lewis navigating, the whole arm injury, trying to again find his purpose. You know,
Yeah.
trying to navigate fatherhood, all while having his arm in a sling.
Yeah.
You know, I see such a development of you in this first season. How has it been for you to, get to that finale episode? Has it been what you thought it was going to be, bringing him to life?
Yeah, I mean it's been a ton of fun, and it's again, Lewis is a character who I think, I mean, he's very similar to Sam in a way. And again, like maybe it's just because I like to boil things down to like the human side of things, but like again, he is a guy trying to figure it out. He comes to a new town, he loses his job, you know, he's got to figure out how to provide for his wife and baby on the way. Baby arrives, it's just like he's juggling a lot of very real things that happen to people.
Yeah.
Where am I going to work? Or I've lost my job. Like I've lost jobs before. It's terrifying. It's terrifying if you don't have, if you don't know when your next paycheck is going to arrive. That is a very real, very scary thing that a lot of people face. Again, like myself included. Like, again, honestly, being in the industry that I work in, sometimes you don't know when your next paycheck is going to come. And it's how do you balance all that? How do you balance having a newborn baby? And providing for them and making sure you have shelter and food on the table for your baby and your wife and all of the things. And again, Lewis, he takes it all in stride. He's like the sweetest guy. Like he always tries to stay positive. And what's nice is that he has a wife, wherein if he's not at his best, they pick each other up, and Tina picks him up, and Aaron is such a wonderful person to share the screen with and be across from. And yeah, I'm just very lucky to have be on two shows that have such great messages to them.
And and I told Erin the last time I talked to her, I'm like, and this is the part some may not know, some may have missed my first chat with you when we talked. You and Erin are really close. You guys are really
Yeah.
good friends. So you can see it emulate on the screen that chemistry.
Yeah, I've known her for quite a few years now. She was actually the mutual friend that knew Marshall as well, because they've worked together
Ah,
prior. Yeah, yeah, yeah. But yeah, no, I've known Erin for years, and she's the best of the best as far as humans go. And it's real nice working across from her because she makes my job that much easier when you just have that kind of natural chemistry and ease around somebody. You don't have to worry. We just kind of click in terms of the way we work together. And I go into scenes thinking like, I think Erin's going to say it like this, and like usually she does or she doesn't. It's when you know somebody that well, it just works.
yeah, and like when she does it, it's like, yeah, I knew you were going to say it that way.
Like, John, we're still in the scene. Oh yeah, sorry.
Sorry, sorry.
Sorry. You knew it.
And I have to say, and I've heard it from so many of the fans, you guys, that baby that you guys worked with was unbelievably adorable.
Oh my gosh. I remember when we shot the baptism scene in season one. When you're working with babies, like there's a very limited amount of time that you get with them on set. That's it's built that way by law because you can't it's an infant. And
Yeah,
with any infant or kids or whatever, they're very strict on like X amount of time on set, then get them off. If it's a baby, they're resting, they're feeding, they're just they can't be around set that often. But like he was such a pro. Like honestly, he would come to set, he barely ever cried. And I remember shooting that baptism scene and we were using a fake doll, all dressed up to hide the fact that it's a doll. And then the second he came on set, it was like the entire room changed. It was kind of magical. And then the second Erin had him in her arms, and we started doing the scene, like both of us, even though we had just shot it with like the doll, both of us immediately started tearing up during the baptism scene, and we're like, and then they're like cut, and we were like, what just happened? Like, I was like, this is crazy, and we were both like. Like just yeah, we're just like both in tears. We're like, this is insane. Anyways, that kid is a pro. That kid is going places.
And I remember what she told me when you guys filmed that scene. She was like, they put the baby in my arms, and she was just like, oh, the tears started rolling. And then
Yeah.
she was like, okay, don't cry. We got a little bit more to go. Don't cry. Don't cry.
Mm-hmm. No, he was great. I don't remember him. I don't think he cried once. Honestly, he was like the best baby. No joke. He might have gotten like a little fussy, but like he wasn't having a full-blown meltdown, that's for sure. We never had to wait for him to like settle down, put it that way, which is insane.
The kid's a pro already.
Oh yeah, he's a pro.
What I want you to tell me, because I know I can name my favorite moments of Lewis. Lewis and Lewis's vulnerability.
Yeah.
You know, but what were some of your favorite moments from season 1 of Lewis?
Um, I think the baptism scene is, excuse me, certainly I think the standout scene for me with Lewis, if not like it's a major moment in the whole season. Just because it was so beautiful. I think that would probably be my favorite moment. Um, and then I think just like again, like what I love about, you know, Tina and Lewis's relationship, and this isn't just one moment, but there's moments where Tina is really worried and scared, and Lewis builds her up. And then there's moments where, Lewis, falters and he isn't necessarily the strongest at moments, but then Tina builds him back up. And like that's just what I love about their relationship. It's they're kind of they're perfect for each other. But I think like if you had to pick one, it would definitely be the baptism scene. I think that stands out for me.
I think probably my favorite. I mean, that baptism obviously one of my favorites, but I think like one of my favorites was, seeing probably the most realistic and humanistic side of Lewis when he hurt his arm and had to basically swallow the pill of, okay, you have to lean on everybody to help you out here. It's not just about, you know, you fulfilling what you feel like is your duty as a father, as a
Yeah.
husband, fully trusting in the process of what doesn't sound cliche, but what God has given you,
Yeah.
and this sense of community.
Yeah. And again, I think again, that's going back to what I previously said. I think that's something that we all really struggle with. Like that's an incredibly grounded, normal, dare I say, emotion to go through. It's hard to give up control. It's hard to admit that maybe you need help sometimes and that you can't take the entire world on your shoulders. And that's something that I think we all need to work on. Certainly, I mean, put myself back into my own John shoes. Like, I struggle with that sometimes. It's just like trying to be like, no, I can do it. I can handle it. I can, add another thing on my shoulders. It's fine. Meanwhile, my knees are buckling and my ankles are swollen. Everything's so heavy. You know
Yeah,
what I
but
mean?
I
Yeah,
got
but like it's a normal it's such a again, it's one of those things that I think we all just low key deal with and nobody ever really wants to admit it. Quite frankly.
now, now I know you mentioned that you start filming for yourself tomorrow.
Tomorrow.
and not giving too much away, but I want to ask you what John, asking John, what would you like to see about for Lewis in this second season?
Um, I'm interested to see, I think the relationship between um ourselves and the Hamiltons and how that grows. You know, they've kind of like taken us under their wing, and I'm excited to see what that means for Tina and Lewis and where they fall in the community. And
Mm,
I don't have all the scripts yet, so I actually don't know where this is going, but I would really like to see, hopefully they solidify themselves, more in the community and, um, become more of a stable presence for everybody around them because everybody around them has done so much for them, especially the Hamiltons. So I'd like to see them repay that in some way. And what that looks like, I don't know, but I'm really excited to see where the writing team takes it.
yeah, I feel like there's so much development. For Tina, it's funny. I said to Aaron, I said, I would love to see Tina be more like present with like Maggie at, her shop. And
Hmm.
maybe Lewis, doing more with the pastor. I'm like, there's so much. This is why I love the show. And the writers have done
Hmm.
an absolutely amazing job because I feel like with the season finale, I feel like it left so many doors open, especially for Tina and Lewis, with the Hamiltons.
Yeah. I mean, I will say based on the first couple of scripts I've gotten, um, I have quite a few scenes with someone in particular that I'm very excited to spend more time with and work with. I'll just say that.
Uh-oh. Hmm. Little breadcrumbs, Joan. This is what.
That's all I can do. I don't want to get fired.
No, no, we do not want to. We do not want to upset. The big ones, the big people.
Yeah.
Well, now, did I read it correctly? Do they have you guys are the season two supposed to premiere August of this year?
I believe so. Yeah, I think I saw that floating around. I didn't get anything official from like Great American themselves, but I believe it was already aired as a little,
In the
promo
order.
type thing. And I remember somebody sent a picture of it and I was like, oh,
Yeah.
okay, sweet. Yeah. But I mean, as with anything, like timelines can change. I take that stuff with a grain of salt, you know what I mean? Because anything can happen in this industry and, things shift all the time.
Thank you, because I get that question so many times.
Yeah.
Well, this is when it's said, I'm like, you have no idea. It could be filming delays. It could be, any kind of delay that could push it back. I mean, that's
And
the
it could
movie
just,
of it.
yeah, and it could be just like strategic placement based on other things that are airing on the network or even other, like, I don't know, different net, like things. You should see, oh my gosh, you guys should see behind the scenes of like Christmas movie scheduling. It's crazy. Because
Imagine.
there's so many of them, and they're like, okay, this one here, this one here, this one here, this one here. Great. No, wait, we're gonna put this one here, this one up here, and then we're this one over here, and then okay, but then on the day, not this time. So like it's I don't know how they do it. They must be like losing their minds behind the scene. Like I just see the changes that happen sometimes, and I'm like, wow.
I would be like, okay, that's something for
Yeah.
you guys to do. I don't do that.
Oh no, it could be for any number, like literally a million different reasons. The most important thing is we've already started shooting. The season is coming. And if the date that was out there holds true, great. But if it doesn't, there will be a season regardless. So just get excited for that.
I was talking to Kate um yesterday or the day before, and she showed me a picture of her lock screen. She was like, I'm back to it. I was like, girl, 4 o'clock in the morning. I ain't even half awake yet.
Yeah. Yeah. That's film life.
This is what I'm saying. This is the part that I love talking with you guys on because we see the finished product. We don't see the up early in the morning, the God knows
Hmm.
how long, how long at night you guys are filming. And that to me is like the biggest magical part about this whole process.
Oh yeah, it's filming is it's a different beast altogether. And the one I just did with Marshall, I mean, I think we were putting in no less than probably 12-hour days and not uncommonly dipping into, 13, 14, 15 hours. It happens.
This is why, and I will say it
But
101 times. This is the reason why I have such mad respect for you guys. One, the long hours, and two, 14, 15 pages. No, my brain is like, psh.
yeah, I mean, hey, listen, like we're not we're not curing cancers. There's jobs all over the world with probably worse hours and, doctors putting in their 12-hour shifts 4 days in a row, then getting some time. Like uh, it sounds bad, but when you love what you're doing, it almost doesn't matter. You do get tired, but like again, like we're not the only job in the world that gets, exhausted after a long week of work. Not to mention, like, there's a lot of other jobs out there that are much more stressful. I could never be a doctor or a PSW. I could never do what they do. It's like they are heroes to me, and I feel like I'm just coasting by getting to do what I love to do. Like, not that they don't love what they do, but like
No,
we're
no,
making we're making films. They're fun. Like they're not without they're not without the grind, but like, you get to put it in perspective sometime. Like we're not the only ones,
and you guys
working
have
hard.
such a beautiful cast with this show. I mean, you really lucked out.
Oh, like they're the best. They're the absolute best.
Now, tell me about this one you did with this new movie that you did. Not giving too much away. When
Hmm.
you look forward to seeing it.
I don't have a release date yet. I imagine it'll be later this year in the Christmas timeframe. It's called Cowgirl for Christmas. Um, yeah, yeah, and it was a lot of fun. I got to play a cowboy. Speaking of, every little boy's dream.
Yay!
Yeah, I got to ride the horse. I wore a cowboy hat like 95% of the entire movie, so like, it was awesome.
Every little boy's dream.
Yeah, yeah, I fought for that hat and they gave it to me. But yeah, it was a lot of fun. It's a really great cast. I can't give too much away, but it's a little bit outside of I guess the what you would be used to seeing on a Hallmark or Great American. It's for a different network, so it is actually a little bit grittier. There's whips and there's even some
Oh,
guns in there and horses, and my character gets into a fight, like a full on like barnyard fight. Like it was kind of crazy. And you would think with a name like Cowgirl for Christmas, I was like, oh, okay, I know this shtick. And then I got the script and I was like, oh, oh, this is different.
plot
This
twist.
is, this is different. It's actually really the story of the two girls in the town and them trying to find themselves and where they belong and where they should be. And yeah, and then Marshall and I play the love interests in it. Um, that's
No,
kind of all I should probably
no, we don't
s-
want to.
say.
Yeah,
But
we
be
don't.
excited.
We don't want to get nobody mad. Nobody mad.
Yeah.
But
I haven't actually I'm so bad at social media. I haven't actually posted that I've wrapped on it and posted any behind the scenes stuff. So I should get on that soon so people can have a little taste.
honey, you just got done filming this one. You're going into filming of Crossroads Springs. Yeah, you don't have time to be on social media. It's okay. We will. I
Plus
mean,
life.
hey, I gotta ask because I let. So, did they make you like train to do that fight scene in this one? Did they have stunt
Yeah.
people?
Nope, they had a stunt they had a stunt team and a coordinator, and as I always do, I always fight to do my own stuff, um, as much as they will let me. And yeah, we came up with some really great choreography, and I did the whole thing, which is really really cool. I got some awesome behind the scene videos of the whole of that whole scene. It was a lot of fun. A lot
Oh,
of fun.
that's so cool.
Yeah, because they don't always let you do. There's a lot of liability that comes into play if you're to get injured as an actor, and they don't always let you do it. But we had a really great stunt coordinator. Adrian is his name, and he was a beaut. And yeah, and we shot it, and it was the real deal. We were outside in the barnyard, in the stables, rolling around in uh, mud, and who knows
Oy,
who knows what else. From stuff that looks like mud.
okay.
Yeah, let's just say I took a long, good shower after that day.
I was gonna say, I guess you spent a few couple of hours in the shower getting all that junk out.
Yeah, 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 it was good. But you know what? Like again, I love doing that stuff, and it wasn't a hesitation. They didn't even. I was like, we're doing this, right? Like I'm doing this, right? Like I don't want any
I'm doing.
clever cutaways to the back of some stunt guy's head. Like I want to do this. And they're like, yeah, let's do it. I was like, okay, perfect.
Typical boy, typical guy.
Oh yeah.
I want to do
Yeah,
it.
yeah.
I want to do it.
Yeah, I'm perpetually like a 15-year-old kid.
Oh, honey, I just congratulations. I mean, with
Thank
this new
you.
new season of Crossroads Springs, all of the fans are we're all looking forward to it. I am so happy and so excited to see what comes next for you guys. And congrats on When Help Calls. I mean, best of luck and get plenty of
Thank you.
sleep and lots of coffee.
Who needs sleep? Yeah, coffee for sure.
Yeah, coffee.
Yeah,
Definitely
I
for
can
sure.
uh I can sleep when I'm no longer here.
You
That's a
ain't,
long ways away, I hope. Knock
no,
on wood.
hey, don't make me have to smack you. You ain't going nowhere. Not anytime soon.
No, no, no.
No, but
But I
best of
love
luck
it.
and give
Thank you.
everybody my love on set tomorrow and can't wait
I will.
for
I'll
next.
tell everyone you say hello.
Yeah, and tell them I say hello, send a hug, and so much love.
I
And
will.
best of luck. Tell Erin I'm so excited to see what you guys got cooking.
I will. I think I see her on set on Friday, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, I think Friday. I'll see her this week on set.
All right, honey. You take care. Be safe. We'll be catching
You
up soon.
you
You're
as
welcome,
well.
honey.
Thank you so much for having me.
Always. Bye.
Bye, everyone.